like hours, they expand and shrink. Memories blur faster than you think. A moment's forever, the next.
Hello and welcome to Cat Creates. My name is Kat and I like to make things. And today we are going to be going over everything I made in 2025. This is a pretty staple video, I think, for most content creators in this genre on the internet, just to show off everything that we made in 2025. And this is my first year doing so because I only started this channel about 8 months ago, I think. I don't remember exactly. So a lot of the stuff that I made will not have been shown on camera, but as we reach a certain point, most things will have. So I'm excited. I went through my list and I kind of realized I made a lot more than I thought I did, but also didn't make as much as I thought I did. It's weird, but it's probably because I didn't track everything I made. So I was going off of pictures that I posted to my friends. So the first thing that I made was the Constance Vintage Cardigan by Yarn Stitched or Elaine. This is a crochet pattern. This one is made in Hobby Diablo Mohair. I don't know what color shade, but it is this pink. I'll put it on for you. I feel like I've worn this sweater a few times in videos. It is one of my favorites, actually. I wear it quite often. It's lightweight, but so like semi-warm, but the mohair keeps it really warm. This is the second time I made this. I did make this last year. I made it in this green. This shade of green I don't really wear that often. It does kind of go with like one dress, but I guess I could wear it like this in a pretty neutral outfit. This one is made of cotton, so this one is a little bit more better for like springtime versus this one, which is made of mohair. And this one I did make a little bit bigger, as well as I added a ruffle on the bottom. I did not add this to this one. The next thing that I made was this vest number 56 by Daisy and Peace. Again, a crochet pattern. This is in a cotton. It's the Kobu cotton by Lion Brand. I made this back when I thought I liked vests, and then I kind of just realized I didn't. I don't think they look very good on me, but I will put this on and show you. It's kind of giving early 2000s micro vests. I didn't realize how short this was. Maybe that's why I don't wear it. See, it's longer in the back than it is in the front, and pulling it forward doesn't do anything. So I think that's probably why I never wore this. I do really like how it came out, though. Like the construction, I think, is nice. It's definitely too small. You can see it's stretching a lot over my chest, and the button band is a little less forgiving. I think what I want to do is just rip these buttons off and call it a day because I really like these buttons. I think they're very, very cool. I can definitely find a better use for that. But this vest is sadly not one that I ever reach for. Though I do like the pattern. I do think it is very cute. And I've made a couple of things by Daisy and Peace before. She does have crochet and knit patterns. I have only done her crochet patterns before. Another one that I've done, this is not a very good example because this I made when I was a little larger, but this is one of her vests as well. I thought it was very cute. Little pullover vest. I'm not putting this one on because this one is huge on me. And then that was from a couple years ago. And then another pattern of hers I have is a cardigan. But again, I made that one way too big. I'm really bad at sizing her patterns, I think. I made it way too big and I ended up ripping it out because I never wore it. It was way too big for me. The next pattern that I made is this turtleneck nude sweater by Trends Knitting. The sweater is made in a green mohair from Mode at Rowan Mohair Soft. Now, I do actually really love this. I do reach for it every so often. I think I've worn it in a couple of videos as well. Generally, I go with a black tank top underneath it because I think it just looks better. But I do actually love this one. The only thing I don't like is the neck. It's supposed to be a turtleneck. I remember when I was making this that it called for like smaller needles, but then I couldn't fit it over my head. And honestly, I can still barely fit this over my head. There is zero stretch in this cast on here. So I don't I don't love the neckline. I think what I want to do is maybe make like the Cloud Cardi by Petite Knit. I know she has a mohair version, and I, instead of doing like double mohair, I would do single, because that's more of a, it's not really a turtleneck or a crew neck. I don't know. It's a little bit higher neck than a crew neck, but yeah, this one I went through a small phase of mohair, and I really just love this one. I would love it better if it had a better neckline, but I didn't know patterns very well back then. This is like one of the first, this is a knit top. Yeah, one of the first tops I knit, actually. I think this might be the first top I ever knit. So I love it. I reach for it. It's very warm. It's very warm in here today. I have my fan on. I'm already sweating, and this is the third item. This is not a good start. This is not a good start. Next on my list was Sophie scarves. I did make a Sophie scarf in the same green that I just had that sweater in, but then I also made this one very shortly after. I don't have the type of yarn. I don't have the yarn that I used for this one because this was just a single skein that I got in Switzerland. So I don't, I don't know. I just started making it right away. I was with my boyfriend, we were shopping, and I was like, this is cute. So I got this one skein and I started making it immediately when I was there and finished it on the plane ride home because it was a 12-hour flight. Um, so I've made a couple Sophie scarves, as I talked about in my last video. So I feel like everyone knows what a Sophie scarf is at this point, but it's just a long triangle scarf. That's it. And then I was in a skinny scarf phase, and I had seen this video by Woozy by Celine, where she talked about spring knit patterns, and I thought that these patterns were so cute. This first one was this tulip scarf by Soup Knits. This is just in some random acrylic yarn that I had, and I'm sad I made it in acrylic because it just won't block. It will not untwist, as you can see. It's just constantly folding in on itself, so you can't even see the beautiful design when I'm wearing it. So I do want to remake this in a wool so I can actually block it and stretch it out, because I have never worn this. I just can't because of the way that the yarn works. It's just twisting. I've tried steaming this. I have tried wet blocking it, and it just will not untwist. So I'm going to make this again in wool one day. Speaking of that video by Woozy by Celine, the other pattern I picked from that one was the Orchid Bloom pullover. Now, this is my first video on YouTube as well. I still absolutely adore this sweater. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened because it does not fit me. I feel like it fit me in the video. I have gained some weight, but I don't think it was that much to where this doesn't fit me anymore at all. But I have a couple of issues. First of all, I was way too lazy in that video. So even if this did fit me, it is very cropped. Like, it goes like to my pant line, which is not really where you want a sweater to go. You want it to go a little bit past it, at least in my opinion. It's just a sweater like this. And then it is just too tight in the bust. So as beautiful as this sweater is, I absolutely love it. It's the Orchid Bloom pullover by Sari Nordlund. I am going to remake this. This was made in the Hobby Friends sock wool in icy blue, held double with the Hobby Diablo mohair in pastel blue. So Hobby yarns, very affordable. I think this cost me about $45, $50 to make, just because Hobby yarns are very affordable. Maybe a little bit more, I'm not sure. But it's very soft, it's very beautiful. I love it. It just does not fit me, sadly. So I am going to remake this. I do have this green Black Friday wool from Hobby. I have quite a bit of it. I used a little bit of it when I made the Musselburgh hat from my previous video, if you watched that. I think it works out okay. It was relatively soft, but it's the right weight and I have a lot of it. So I'm probably going to use that. It's green. You'll see in here that I really adore green. This is one of the very few non-green pieces that I made throughout the year. So jumping backwards in time, this was before I started filming. This is a top from a Hobie pattern. It's called the Tokyo top. And the picture that they showed was this beautiful open bag. And I thought it was so cute. So I bought the yarn they recommended. I made the size recommended on there. I did a gauge swatch and I matched the gauge. But tell me why this just does not fit me. If I put this on, it is the bustiest top I have ever made. Like I am spilling out if I put this on. So I will not be doing that. It's also very short, which I could have changed by just adding more rows. This is crochet. This was made in the Hobby Tweed yarn. This is the only time I've ever used that yarn. It is very soft. It's actually very soft. And I love the colors. Like I love this green tweed quite a bit. I think it's beautiful. But I have never worn this top and I probably never will just because it is so incredibly cropped and so busty. The next thing I made, and this is technically kind of unfinished, I never added the lacing details. This is the HUA skirt by, I don't have it written down. No, I don't. I'll look for that. I will link out all these patterns below that I can. But this is the HUA skirt. I think it's beautiful. I really love it. I haven't put it on in ages. I've never actually worn it. This is made in the Hobby Friends 8/4 cotton. Basically, it has this really wide waistband that you are supposed to add like lace detail on here with ribbon. Never did. And then you work down into these pleats with these little eyelet details, which were really, really pretty. And then you finish off with these granny pentagrams with these flowers in them. So I had a couple issues with this skirt. First of all, she doesn't mention the weight of the yarn that she uses in the pattern, if I recall correctly. It's been almost a year since I made this. This was very early last year that I made it. So I was going off of the weight of the pattern testers for my size, like the weight of the yarn, like in grams. And I ended up getting way too much yarn because they had to have used, like, so the Hobby Friends 8/4 cotton is like a fingering weight yarn. It's very, very, very thin. And I'm pretty sure they used a DK weight or like basically held this double, or a yarn weight similar to that. And it's just a little too thin. I will put it on, just so you can see. I will have to change the camera though. I try to move back so you can actually see it. The skirt that she made, it's like to her ankles, and then this one's to my knees. There were some extra lacy details that I remember she added on it that I didn't because I kind of got bored. This took a while, I remember. And I do really like how the skirt came out. It's just, I'm not really much of a skirt wearer. I wear a dress and I wear jeans and I wear leggings. And that's about it. I'm not much of a skirt wearer. So this didn't really get much wear or anywhere from me, but I thought it was really pretty. It's not the right length. It's not the right length. Okay, hopefully this camera angle isn't completely different from before after moving it, but we'll see. So yeah, that's the HUA skirt. I did start another one using a thicker weight cotton, the same cotton I made the vest out of from earlier, the Kobu cotton from Lion Brand. But I just lost interest in making it. I do have it still started. I'm still on the waistband. So the next thing here, let's see. So the next one I have here, this is the Jebel button down or button up. I don't remember. This is a pattern that I will say has haunted me for a couple of years. I made this pattern originally a few years ago. I made this one. Now you might be thinking, oh, that's really cute. It's really bright and vibrant. This is 100% wool, which is not the kind of yarn you want for a button-down t-shirt, let me tell you. This is also at least 2 sizes too big because I made this when I was overweight. And I just never, I wore it a bit, but then I realized it was way too hot. So this one I made out of the extra yarn that I had. Like I said, I ordered way too much of the cotton yarn to make this skirt. So I'm like, wait, I finally have enough to make this shirt. I have tried making it about 4 times. But I just never had enough yarn because it calls for way more than you think it does. This is a crochet top. You work it sideways. So like you start from the side seam and you work it out, work it up. So you make it in 3 panels and then you sew the sleeves, or you crochet the sleeves on it. So this is the recommended stitch count. I believe it was like 138 stitches or something for the length. And then I decided to add the lace detail on the collar because I'm very grandma chic. I love this shirt. I actually really love this shirt. Here, I'll put it on. Ooh, it's a matching set. No, I really do love this shirt. I think it came out really nice. I've worn this a few times for sure. It's great in the summer because it is cotton. The cotton is thin, so it's breathable. There's lots of air because of the eyelets within the pattern, as you can see through the t-shirt I have underneath, tank top, whatever. So I love this shirt. I wear it with jeans a lot. I think I wore it on my birthday or something over a dress. I love it. I think it's a great top. Now, the converse of the Jebel top being a top I love is this top, which is the Nami top. Now, this top is made up of scrap yarn from the first Constance vintage cardi I made and the remaining yarn from something else. I don't know what. This is not the same green. As you can see, it's way too short. I can definitely change that because I still have so much of this green left. And I think I have some of this teal left from somewhere. It's just too short. It's like basically right below my bust line. Like my bra is here, and then this top goes here, so it's quite short. I have never worn this out. I love the sleeves, however. I think the sleeves are super super cute. This cute little diamond pattern on them. But yeah, it's just way too short. All right, next is this little number. I have no idea what top this is. This was a tank top pattern I found on the internet somewhere for free, and I made this in a few days. That's it. I love the diamond pattern. I think the diamond pattern came out really cute, but I have never worn this because, quite frankly, I'd have to wear it with something like this, with like a tank top underneath or a t-shirt or something. And I feel like I am too old to pull off this look. Like, this feels like something a teenager should be wearing. I don't think it's really my style at all. I just really wanted to make one because I thought it was cute. And then I put it on and I'm like, yeah, this doesn't really suit me at all. So, not really my thing, not really my vibe, but it is cute. I do have it. Next up is a cardigan that I wear a lot. This one gets a lot of love from me. And this is my Taylor Swift cardigan that I revisioned into themed on Evermore, which is my favorite Taylor Swift album. Now, I did do a video on this, but this was, I wasn't very successful. I'm still pretty small, but my last video, if you watched it, thank you so much, by the way. I had thousands of views on it, and I'm just overwhelmed, overwhelmed with all the positivity I've gotten from that video. But this is an older video that I made. This is the Taylor Swift cardigan, my version, Evermore version, whatever. I changed the cable detail here on the side to be this leaf motif to kind of go off of the song Ivy. I did that on both sides. And then the cable detail in the middle, I did into this leaf pattern, which I also used on the back. I love this cardigan. I love this cardigan. I wear this all the time. I generally leave it open just because it fits weird. It fits weird. I did make it in a small medium, and I probably should have made it in a large extra large, but I did not. The original pattern is by Lion Brand. I just adapted the stitch count ever so slightly to adjust for these cables. And this one I remember was like the same cable count as the normal wide cable. I am dying. It is so hot in here. Oh my goodness. And then the next pattern I did was the Mayflower pullover by Sasky and Co. This is one of my favorites as well. I wear this a lot, especially as it got colder. I try not to wear it in too many videos. I just don't have that many pullover sweaters. And I want to be cool like all the other knit content creators and wear what I made. I absolutely love this sweater. This one I made initially, like I made the video with it, but I also made some shorts with it because originally my mom was making this with me. She was making her own in this blue color, and she did finish hers. It took her a few months to finish it, but the end result was something that she just wasn't really happy with. It ended up just being the wrong size. Like it was just way too big. So she's probably never going to wear it, which is very sad. Um, but so I never did show a final product on hers just because she wasn't happy with it. So there was no point. It came out really nice. It was just the wrong size. But I love mine. I wear it often. This is just made out of I forgot the brand, but it's Michael's. This is like the Michael's acrylic yarn. It's not good quality yarn, but it blocked very well and it blocked very soft. So I think the drape on it came out nice. But going forward, I'm going to try and only make a colorwork sweater out of wool, just so the colors can blend together a little bit better. Oh, and I didn't mention it, but this sweater, my Taylor Swift cardigan, this was made out of also out of acrylic. This was made of the Lion Brand 1 pound pound of love in the color olive. So again, just acrylic. But to be fair, the normal Taylor Swift cardigans that you might buy are also made out of acrylic yarn. This next one I did a small video on. It was like making a sweater in a week or whatever. It's a little vlog video that I did. This is just like a sweater scarf pattern that I freehanded. This is made out of the Hobby Fluffy Day yarn. I think it is like 6 inches too short because it's just kind of like too tight. I don't know if you heard that. I feel like it is like 6 inches too short because it's like too tight when I try and like move my arms. But it looks kind of cute. I think this would be best over like a dress or something, maybe not so much like this. I have never worn it out just because I don't know what occasion I would wear such a thing. But I saw a lot of pictures on Pinterest when I was trying to get inspiration, and I was intrigued. But if you aren't familiar with this, it is just a very long, ugh, very long strip of fabric. Basically, this is all crocheted and it was freehand. So I did my cuff, my crochet cuff, and then I just turned the work sideways and crocheted out. I did, what stitch did I do on this? Looks like I did a lemon peel stitch, I think. Like just single crochet, double crochet in the same stitch and then skip a stitch, I think is what I did. Looks like it. But it's very long. It's like 6 feet long or 5.5 feet long or something. It needs to be a little bit longer is ultimately the end result. Ugh. It needs to be a little bit longer just so it's not as tight on the shoulders. I can't really wear it crisscrossed in the front, I think. It just doesn't look very good. I could wear it like a scarf. It's very good for a scarf, I will say. But yeah, I've never worn it. Next I have this. I think I made this like right before the other one actually, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. This is something I kind of had on my like dream list of things I wanted to make for 2025, which was a tie front cardigan. Not this pattern in particular, but just one in general because I really, really think they're so cute. I kind of don't like this pattern. This was a free pattern by Drops. I believe it's the Lemon Fizz tie front cardigan, I believe is what it is. This is made in the same yarn as the sweater scarf. It is the Fluffy Day yarn by Hobby. My complaints about this are the sleeves are like too short, and I am not a tall person. I am 5'3". So on a tall person, if you follow the pattern to a T, the sleeves are going to be way too short on you. And it is too cropped. So all of these things could have been fixed if I just paid attention to what I was doing. I think the overall look of the sweater is cute. It's just I want it to be longer and I want the sleeves to be longer. But otherwise, it's perfect. I do wear this often though. It is a good like little springtime cardi. I wore it quite a bit in the autumn. I wore it quite a bit in fall just because it's good for that. It's good for that. I did just do single strand. I think if I had held it double in the fluffy day, it probably would have been better. Also, I picked up the sleeves terribly. I don't know. Next, we have the Ranunculus. This is the only Ranunculus I've made so far. I am going to make more. I'm going to make one in a mohair just because I really still love the look of mohair tops. And I want a better one to wear than the turtleneck one that I don't like wearing because I hate the neckline. But if you did not watch my previous video, which was I made the top 5 most popular patterns on Ravelry, this was one of them. The Ranunculus is always up there just because it has like 30,000 projects made on there or something last I looked. I don't know. It has a lot. It is way too cropped, but I think this would look really cute over a dress or something. I'm just too lazy to do that right now. I am so hot. I am so hot just from just like standing here and changing. But I love how this top came out still. It's got really nice, I'm blocking the light. It's got really nice details in the yoke. I think the sleeves are a good length. I think the body is too short, but I was using scrap yarn. I remember making this in a size 2, just because the Ranunculus is traditionally very oversized, and I did not want mine to be as oversized. And I made this in the K&C cotton from Joann's. Joann's does not exist anymore, but I do believe I can find this yarn on Hirschner's, which I have never shopped at before. But if you're looking for good cotton yarn, I do actually really like this cotton. It's very soft. And because I was using scrap, I used this green color and then I ran out. So I used this teal that I had left over as well. I probably should have had it at this angle the whole time instead of having my head chopped off every time I walked forward. Oh well. And then I'm just getting into accessories that I made throughout the year. So I did already talk about the Sophie scarves. I have made 3 of these this year. I made 4. I made the green one, like I mentioned. I made this one. I have a sage green, light green one that I made. And then I made one in this tan color. Again, for the tan one I made for my last video, which was the making the top 5 patterns on Ravelry, which is what this is from. So this is the Musselburgh hat. A lot of you commented the same issue that I did, which was your gauge when you started was too tight or tighter than it was when you finished making the increases. So you ended up with a Musselburgh hat that was way too big. So this is way too big on me. I did make mine double-sided. I do like that aspect. I guess I don't mind the colors so much anymore. My biggest issue was just the size. The sizing was horrible for me. I gauged it wrong. So if you are like me and about 20 other people who commented that they had the same issue that I did, maybe do a few more rounds before you check your gauge. You're going to need to do the increases anyway. So do a few more rounds of increases before you check your gauge, and then hopefully yours comes out looking a little less huge. The next hat was the Oslo hat. This is a petite knit pattern. This one I actually probably made a little too small, if I'm being honest with you. Here's the crown for anyone interested. I do love this hat though. I think it's very cute. This one I do reach for. Yeah. I like this one because of the rolled brim. So this one, the brim is secured. So you make like a wide strip of stockinette and then you knit them together and then you turn your work to make the actual beady portion of the hat. So this pattern I do really like a lot. That's not to say I don't like the Musselburgh hat. I like the idea of the Musselburgh hat. I just don't like how mine came out. So I do want to try it again. And this is on my list of things to make eventually. I just have other things I want to make first. So this one was a flop, but I like the idea of it. And then my pattern of the year that I absolutely loved had to have been the Sophie hood. I have made it 3 times. This was the first one I made. This one is in the Mohair Delight from Hobby. I love this hood so much. I think I personally look better at a hood than I do a beanie. And I love the warmth that it gives me. I love that it doubles as a scarf. It is just like a really great winter accessory. And if you don't want to make a Sophie hood because you don't want to, like, you want to support more of an indie artist, then find another scarf hood. There are so many out there. For me, I like the Sophie hood because it's very simple and very clean looking. I love the garter stitch and the I-cord edge. But I'm sure you can find so many other patterns that meet the same kind of style and vibe if you want to just look so cute and so cool. So I made this one. Like I said, this was the Mohair Delight by Hobby. And that one I made in a medium size, so it is a lot longer. This one I made in a small. This one is made by Indie Yarns from Nashville. I will post them somewhere. I have them written down. I don't have them on me. I believe the cream color underneath, because I did a wool cashmere blend held with a mohair. The wool cashmere is like a cream color, and that I believe was from Camilla Yarns. I believe it was in the color Camilla. And then I cannot remember what the mohair brand is, but it was the color Brick. That's all I remember. They're both local dyers from Nashville. This one I did make in a small, so it's a little bit shorter, which I also don't mind because I can just tie it right here. And it's perfect under my coat. This one I wear a lot. I love this one. It's so soft because it has the cashmere in the yarn. Oh my gosh. It's so soft. I love this one. This one came out stunning in my opinion. And then the last one that I made was this one. This one was just made out of an acrylic yarn. I forget the brand as well. I just found it at Michael's. I thought it was pretty. I love the stripes on them. This one I did also make in a small, but I did make the hood a little bit wider, so it does kind of cover my face a bit more. Since this one's acrylic, I made this one kind of more for like if it's rainy or snowy out, so I don't worry about ruining my natural fibered pieces. But this one I've worn a few times recently because it's been pretty nasty. But I love this one too. I think the stripes came out so cute. This one is definitely harder to style just because of the striped yarn. There's hair in my mouth. Got it. Lip gloss, everybody. Love it. But yeah, so this one, I find it harder to style because of the stripes. But all in all, I do still really love it. And then the only other thing that I made was my vanilla socks from the previous video as well. I'm not a big fan of how those socks came out. I did finish the second one though. I did finish the second one. So I do have 2 socks. Yeah, not the biggest fan of how those came out, but I just don't know if I'm a sock person. I don't like wearing them. I put them on and I was walking around and it just felt weird. For people with your comments, I do appreciate it. I will definitely do the cuff in DPNs next time just because I think the cuff on the 9-inch circulars, it just felt way too stretched out. So I will do the cuff on DPNs next time if I do make another sock. And I did use a wool nylon blend. The brand that I got was that mix. I don't remember what it's called right now, but I did. So thank you for your comments on that. I will take all these notes to heart that people left so many helpful comments on that last video. So thank you everybody for watching this video. I hope you had a good time. I like watching these videos because they give me inspiration for something to make as well as just kind of keep me occupied while I'm knitting. So I hope you find some inspiration. I hope you are working on something pretty, and I hope you had a wonderful New Year's. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so everyone else can know that you enjoyed it. And if you like what you see, if you want to stick around, please do hit that subscribe button and stick around. And I'm happy to have you here. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful New Year. Bye.